What are the total amount of units that you can farm between now and the Banquet event 2024? Hello everybody, hope you're doing well and welcome to a brand new video. So look, the July 4th deals, summer deals have now, well, they're in full swing, started a couple of days ago, and this is your last video for June. We've got July starting tomorrow. But you might be wondering to yourself, how many units can you farm between now and the end of the year? Get right to the point. Yes, right. So total numbers are here. I'm going to break this down, but for those that just want to come into videos and go, what's this? Answer now. There you go. Here's answers right there. That's the total amount of units that you could get based on some estimates, which we'll find out. But of course, we don't like to take videos out of context. We like the full context. So let's go and break into the video in its entirety, because there's a lot more. Like, hey, great, I can farm units, Rich. Thanks for giving me the totals. But where is it going to get me in the Banquet event? That's what we're going to answer. So let's get into it right from the very off part in the very start of the video. So we don't want to start here, but we want to start here. So as you can see here, between now and the 2nd of January 2025, which I believe is when the Banquet event will more than likely being the term there, likely end, you got 186 days to farm units between that particular point. The same thing when it comes to weeks, 26 weeks, 4 days, essentially let's say 27 weeks just to make it as easy as possible, with the fact that, again, this kind of ends on the 2nd of January. So those are the two big things right there. You do have a large length of time, and do bear in mind, you have to fit your life in between this stuff. Most of my life at the moment is kind of like, do this for the house stuff, do that for kind of this, then that, and then day job. And look, I'm not alone. You're in the same boat. You're doing work, school, whatever. Looking after kids, like you're doing it. So, you know, fair play to anybody that's kind of like gaming is not their full focus, if you know what I mean. So let's get into the full extent of units, breaking them down, because there may be stuff that you can cherry pick from here and go, well, I can only farm units from this thing, and that's fine. You know, from Em's perspective, she's a casual player. She's got other stuff in her life, other stuff going on. She'll more than likely auto fight through a lot of the lower stuff, and that's fine. Solo events she'll be able to do fine. So she could get potentially 5,580 units just by doing auto fighting in the super event or solo event. It depends, because that's going to be coming back on the 22nd of July. So 5,580 units may be applicable, may be doable within that time frame. So that's something to bear in mind. 5,580 units as of today, June 30th. Alliance-wise, if you're in Alliance, 1,620 units, but most of your units come from the 5,580 units you get from doing the solo events or super events, as it's referred to. Auto fighting through these particular contender proven conqueror uncollected are going to be the way to go. Free calendar-wise, I think that's right after the amount of months. So I need to kind of actually change that, because I think that's 6 months with that one. So that might be a little bit less, maybe. It brings down the total a little bit more than you may like, but I don't think it's it's 300 like lesser units than maybe you kind of would farm. But to be honest, if we're being pedantic, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think we need to be pedantic about 300 units this way or that way, because hey, guess what? Kabam do free events. Yes, if they release something with fabulous crystals, like a platinum pool or kind of Deadpoolish based event, then you've got extra 400 units, maybe less, maybe more. Other event, Kabam could give out something with units are free. Cap's Commissary, I think, had some units at the start point of investment. I think you could get some stuff for free in other things over the course of the year, over the 6 months, maybe. Free in Milestones, again, maybe. August Legends event, 200 units, maybe less, maybe more. Act 9.1, 540 units. If that comes out in, say, August time, and then December, it could be Act 9.1, 540 units, plus an additional 540 units. We could add a lot more to this. Again, we're doing estimates. I don't know what the future holds with kind of Kabam giving out free units. There's also, and I didn't think about this, the other event could be additional units with the summer event. Not summer event. Yeah, there's double track, the current double track, because that comes on 3 times. So that's 1,140 units. So yeah, I'm just going with estimates. Like, you could have this, you could have 500 more, 500 less. more than likely 500. And this seems to be like a more, benchmarkable type amount. We'll go with that. Arena side of things, yeah, good chunk. If you do milestone 12 for 54 arena rotations, because that's 27 times 2, then it's 8,532 additional units, which again is great. And then if you're doing higher end of grind, 16,200. And then if you do all milestones and milestone 12 of Summon of Trials, 24,732 units can be got from then. Final totals, again, as we said at the start of the video, is an estimate. It's less or more, or it could be around 13,000. It could be more. Like, I'm always going with, hey, I'll give you the worst end of the estimation. So when you get more, that's great. But I don't know what Kabam are going to run event-wise for the entirety of the year. Over 13,000 units? Hey, more than likely, if you are willing to do the super solo events and also special, get some special and random stuff as well. If you're looking to do a bit of an arena grind, at least that bumps up to 24,722 units. If you're looking to high end, maybe at 45,922 units, around about, I reckon, more 50k for kind of like those are kind of able to farm a good amount of arena. And as well, Arena Crystal Luck. You could get more than 3,000 units from Arena Crystals, but again, it's just estimates. I can't predict every single player's chance at RNG. That's pretty impossible. And then also same thing with a higher end grind. Maybe 8,000, maybe 10,000, maybe 15,000 you'd be able to get by the end of the year. So there must become a point to this. Well, that's why they're phrasing this video as like a part 1 explaining where you can get all these units, but part 2, like, is it going to make a difference? Because you're going to be like, well, I want it to make a difference in a Banquet event, because that's going to be something I might want to save up for. So the Banquet event, as we knew last year, had a higher end of unit investment, and that was the standard amount of units that you got from the milestones, whether it be the alliance portion or indeed the solo side of things. Right at the very end, you're able to get yourself at 117,000 units, 117,000 points, which is about 9k units. The 7-star Gifted Guardians Crystal, which is I can't remember if I did that in the end. I want to say I did, but maybe I didn't. Anyway, you're able to get yourself a 7-star, and a lot of players are going to be looking to that. If you are any progression at the moment and want to look to make some gains, at least having about 11,000 to 12,000 units will be important to get milestones, or the furthest milestone, in this particular event. I would say err on the side of caution. Last year, or the year before, 2022, it only took a fraction of the unit investment to then get a 7-star, not 7-star, but the furthest milestone. Last year, it was 9,000 units. So this year, you might have to have more than that. And that's something that I think Kabam may kind of like do in the future. Like, hey, I'm a Cavalier player, Thronebreaker player, whatever, and I want to get all the milestones, or I can get myself a 7-star, or get a rank 2 to 3 7-star gem. Well, guess what? You have to spend about 15,000 units. I'm not saying it could happen. It's Kabam did it last year. What's to stop them from doing it this year? So just kind of err on that side of caution when thinking about these things. I think more so when it's all about preparation of rank and where your finish point is. In the results, if you've been following the channel, you know that we did cover the results. These are from a spreadsheet that I did recently on the, well, recently at the start of the year, on the results of the solo and alliance as to the investment as to what you took home. So one of the big things, and I did put markers in this, is the extent of you will need 38,250 units to get a 1% to 5%. That's the best that you could probably get. I think this is going to go higher than it did last year. And the same thing with, like, if you're looking to actually make a splash in this event to get 4% to 5%, you're going to need upwards of 17,700 units. And as well, you might want to consider like getting involved with Cyber Weekend deals. Cyber Weekend deals may be something you're more interested in than Banquet event. So therefore, if you do that, you're going to need a lot more. If you want to, let's just say, for example, want to do, I don't know, 17,700 to get the 5%, 4% to 5%. You want to then plus, say, an 18,000 Cyber Weekend spend. So you're looking at 35,700. If you're a non-spending player with MCOC, then that is how much you're going to need between now and the end of the year. And of course, we go back to the farming totals to go, right, well, you're going to have to, sadly, get a bit of a grind on into a higher arena of farming in order to get yourself, you know, a good chunk there. So you're going to have to at least ramp up to, if you did this and if you got 10,000 units now, hey, go for a low end arena grind. It's not going to take too much of your time up. But if you're going high end, then of course you'll have that and have a little bit extra left over by the end of the year. And that's of course what Caban want to see, is you just like take all your units away, investing into farming in this particular mode. Of course, if you want a lower end, then that's not too bad. This is of course 14,400 units with 6% to 10% last year. And the lower you get, the less units, of course, you spend into it. And you're going into that 9,000 and get all milestones territory that we explained with getting this right here with these milestones. So yes, those are your options there. How many units will you need? The answer is what you want from it. If you want to get a higher finish in Banquet event and do Cyber Weekend, you're going to need about 34,000 units. You need 35,000, but you'll need 34,000 units plus. But let's just go with, this is how many units you would need if you want to get a decent milestone. And do bear in mind the Banquet event will see depreciation in the game, depreciation in the rewards meta in that particular mode. So likely you'll see more spicier things for less units spent. Anyway, that has been the video. I thank you very much for watching. I will give a link to the spreadsheet. I'll try and do some extra tabs with it as well, with some of those results of last year's Banquet event and some of the stuff you're seeing on screen, just so you can go and check it out if you want to. I wish you good luck in farming units, and I'll see you all in the next video. Check out some other content located on screen. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.